Welcome to Talk of the Nation. I'm JT the Brick, and we begin right out of the gate with the former Pro Bowl tackle Lincoln Kennedy, who's preparing for the first ever home game of the Las Vegas Raiders. He'll be on the call. And Lincoln, let's just get right into that. How proud, excited are you for this opportunity, a home game in Las Vegas?
Well, as I said before, I'm so happy for the organization. Allegiant Stadium is a beautiful venue. I can't wait to share it with the fans. But until then, I'm hoping for some great football. So, JT, I'm looking forward to a good game on Monday night between the Raiders and the Saints.
Lincoln, big news, multiple Hall of Fame nominees for the Raiders, but let's start with your former teammate Charles Woodson on this list. He's got to be a first ballot right in, one of the great defensive players of all time.
Without a doubt. You know, it was a pleasure getting to know Charles both early and later in his career. The fact is, when the Raiders drafted him, I was already on the team, and I saw a different guy than when he came back from Green Bay. But the more professional, the great Hall of Famer, I agree with you. I think he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is truly a treasure for the Raiders, and it wouldn't be a great deal if on 2021 they were able to announce Charles Woodson as a part of the Hall of Fame for the Raiders in Las Vegas.
Well, Lincoln, it's the same story we always talk about. Tom Flores, hopefully great news. What about Jim Plunkett, the late Cliff Branch? We continue to bring this up, but this is more about Charles going through, but there are still plenty of Raider legends that need to get that call.
You know what? The great organization the Raiders have been for around 60-plus years. The fact is, you got a backlog of players that are definitely worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, being in Canton. But you can't overlook where you are in the present day. Charles Woodson definitely deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. As you mentioned, so does Coach Flores. They eventually should get him in. And I'm hoping it's this year because Coach Flores has been up for this award for many, many times.
All right, Lincoln, let's get into the biggest storylines in the NFL. Week 1, the Cowboys lose. That pick 6 of Tom Brady against New Orleans was a story everybody talked about the entire week. Who's 1-0, who's 0-1, and have pressure on them. What were some of your biggest takeaways?
Well, you know, it's really hard to grade where you are because with no preseason, there was still a mention. I mean, the thing that an unknown, if you will. The fact is, JT, in my opinion, that you saw pretty solid football. You saw good tackling. There wasn't a whole lot of penalties. There were some teams that had some miscues. There were some teams that even, pronounced to be, studs in this league where had some little bad play. But it's all in all. It's their first game out of the box. That's why I was so glad for the Raiders to get the 1-0, against Carolina. Now, as you know, and I'll ask you this, going into this first month of football, when you look at the schedule after Monday night and the Saints, it's not getting any easy for the Raiders. So they've got to pick it up with a real young team, right?
Great point, Lincoln. It's a gauntlet, this schedule early. It's hard. It always seems hard for the Raiders. But I want to go and stay in the division with Kansas City. They played that first Thursday night game. Their depth, they are a strong team, and the Raiders are even with them in the standings right out of the gate. That's very important. We know how good the Chiefs are.
Well, when it comes time, the Raiders have definitely got to find a way to take care of business against the Chiefs. They're one of the best teams in the AFC, in my opinion. And the fact is that the Raiders, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So that will definitely be a strong challenge when the time comes.
All right, Lincoln, the Killers are going to perform on top of Caesars. That's a huge deal because it gives the atmosphere. There's a really important story that Vegas is open for business. Even though fans can't come to the games, Vegas is open. We want fans around the world to see Monday Night Football, this new stadium, and entertainment. That's what Vegas is known for.
Well, I don't know about you, JT, but my phone's been ringing off the hook from people from the Raider Nation trying to figure out where the party's at. As a matter of fact, I think all of Vegas is going to be ablaze when it comes to the party. And I know that it's not totally open, but people are going to find a way to get in and enjoy themselves because this is a very exciting time, both for the organization, but absolutely for the Raider Nation. A new venue to party. And you know as well as I know about the Raider Nation, they don't need anything but an atmosphere in order to have a party.
All right, Link, if you were in charge of the entertainment, who would you have chosen? Who's your favorite performer? Who would Lincoln Kennedy bring to Vegas?
You know what? Oh, man. I think that's a good question. I never even thought about that, JT. I'm like, you're talking about maybe bring Cuban to have a rap fest. You know what I'm saying? Maybe with some of the Bay Area's finest, in LA finest, to bring all the worlds together. But I mean, it's really hard to say. There's no one that sticks out of my mind. How about you? What do you think?
Well, I bring in the Rolling Stones. I met my wife at a Rolling Stones concert, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Hey, Lincoln, one more quick one. This is big. Tom Flores is going to be in the booth with you on this call with Brent Musburger as a former player and now a broadcaster. This has got to be the dream team matchup for you.
It really is. You know, Coach was there when I first came on board with the Raiders, as a sideline reporter, and he was in the booth with Papa, and I was down on the sidelines. But since then, we've got an even stronger relationship with one another. He has taught me so much about the business, as have you, my friend. And I'm looking forward to calling a game with him in Vegas. So this is going to be fun Monday night.
Thank you, Lincoln. Omar Ruiz is going to join us next from NFL Network as we continue on Talk of the Nation. Talk of the Nation is presented by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Cox Business, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill. San Manuel Casino, official Southern California casino of Allegiant Stadium. Welcome back to Talk of the Nation. Omar Ruiz joins us from NFL Network. I can tell you, I don't know of a reporter who covered this story better than you, Omar, from the vote to the groundbreaking to the stadium being built. Take us on your journey with the Raider Nation and what this story's been like for you.
It really has been a journey, JT. I think that's the best way to put it. Going back all the way to 2016 in October of that year, being at UNLV's campus when they had the vote to authorize the $750 million, which really put the wheels in motion full speed to get the Raiders in Las Vegas. And then you fast forward to March of 2017 when Mark Davis had decided to move the team, but he still needed the NFL's authorization, and the owners overwhelmingly approved the move to Las Vegas, and the celebratory scene that was on the Strip for that, with all the Raiders fans behind me, with all the construction crews who were ecstatic about all the jobs that would be created for that here. And every time I've been back since then, the excitement for the team has grown leaps and bounds. You see those Raiders shirts, you see memorabilia, you see merchandise, you see it all everywhere. And then you fast forward to, I believe, November of 2017 when they broke ground here, which was a tremendous ceremony, obviously paying respects to the shooting tragedy that had taken place a little bit before that time, but still celebrating the accomplishment of the new stadium. And then now, 3 years later, to be here for the opening of Allegiant Stadium and to be here on Monday night for the first game here in Las Vegas. It's just been a tremendous journey, JT, one that, you know, I appreciate being on every step of the way, and I look forward to seeing it with a football field behind me here on Monday.
You know, the Raider organization and the Raider Nation, they're so happy for Tom Flores. He got the call from the Hall of Fame as a finalist, and he'll be on the call for the broadcast with Lincoln Kennedy and Brett Musburger. That's a special moment for the opening of this stadium.
It certainly is. And I think, JT, you and I both agree that this is long overdue for Tom Flores to get in this year. You know, we hope that's the case, keeping our fingers crossed. I feel he should have got in last year when they had, you know, the 15 or so people that were there for the 100th celebration season for the NFL. But this is the time. And for Tom Flores to go through all the different parts of the organization, from Oakland to Los Angeles, and now to be a broadcaster for the Las Vegas, shows you what he means to the Raider organization, and hopefully he'll get his due what he means to the NFL and the football community at large. Here,
Omar, you know this roster really well. Give me your thoughts on the 2020 Raiders, what you saw in Week 1, and your expectations this season.
Well, this is a team that has increased its talent, obviously, you know, over the last couple of years since John Gruden took over, and obviously with Mike Mayock taking over, you know, a year into that regime. They have upgraded talent, I think, at every position. But I think more importantly, JT, what we saw was a mentally tough team. Just, you know, that tenacity to fight, scratch, and claw on their way to win in Carolina. It was certainly tested, you know, their mettle, the adversity they had to overcome. Not only, you know, they blew a 12-point lead, to not throw in the towel at that point, to battle back to score late in the fourth quarter. Josh Jacobs obviously ran wild, but something that John Gruden mentioned was, you know, when they're in this new world in the NFL on the road, they're essentially quarantined to their hotel for 48 hours or so. So they weren't exposed to that heat and humidity that they faced on Sunday afternoon in Charlotte until they're actually at the game. So to overcome that, and then of course the injuries, one guy stepping up over the next, and to never let any of that be an excuse on their way to a win, I think says a lot about this team and its fortunes for 2020.
Thanks so much, Omar. You're a big part of this journey. And coming up next, Marcel Reece will join us with his new title and role as we continue on Talk of the Nation. This segment has been brought to you by Modelo, setting the gold standard for authentic Mexican beer since 1925. Welcome back to Talk of the Nation. I am honored to welcome in the senior advisor to the owner and president, former Pro Bowl fullback, Marcel Reece. Wow, what a title. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, JT. How you doing?
I could not be better. I'm so happy and proud for you. Walk us through this journey on this new responsibility and this new role for you.
You know what? It's really been a long time coming. I never left the Raider Nation. And it's been a special time for me. I dedicated my entire career to the late, great Al Davis. Been very close to owner Mark Davis, mom and Carol Davis. And it's been an awesome time to not only be a part of the Raider Nation, but a part of the Davis family. And now coming to where we are now, it feels special to have earned such a title and a great honor to be the senior advisor in an executive role with the Raiders. And working with Mark Davis, Mark Bedane, and excited to just work with everyone that I've been working with through my entire career, and even the people that I haven't worked with just yet. There's a lot of brilliant people in this organization. I'm excited to learn from guys like John Gruden and work with guys like John Gruden and Mike Mayock on the football side, because everyone knows that's where my heart is, and also learn from a brilliant guy like Mark Bedane and Dan Ventrelli and Tom Delaney. It's going to be a special time.
This is the perfect fit. I'm so happy for you. And the Mark Davis story, from what went on in Oakland, now to Vegas, building Allegiant Stadium. Walk me through that. You spend a lot of time with Mark Davis and his journey coming into Monday Night Football, no less.
Yeah, before the title and the role became official and public to everyone else, we're always been very close and very honest and trusting with each other. So it's been great just kind of being on that journey with Mark Davis and Mark Bedane. Tom Blanda, just some really, really hardworking, brilliant people around the organization. And there was a lot of doubt. No one believed in us and what we were doing except the people in that building. And it's gratifying and special to see everything come to fruition and everything come to a reality coming up on this inaugural 2020 season in fabulous Las Vegas, Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium.
Well, you had some big games for the Raiders, and now Josh Jacobs is the next big back for the Silver and Black. Walk me through that Carolina win. 3 touchdowns, the momentum. That offensive line blew open some big holes, and he busted through. What a big game for Jacobs.
Yeah, absolutely, JT. I'm going to start off with the greatest offensive line coach in the world in Tom Cable. The things that he is able to do, the way he is able to prepare his guys to do anything and everything you asked him to do on any given Sunday, on any given play, it's just phenomenal. I mean, your big bookend in Trent Brown goes down, and then not only that, but his backup and Sam Young goes down, and you put a guy, Denzel Good, in the game that hasn't had 1 rep at right tackle, and he plays phenomenal. You don't give up 1 sack. You're having a limited amount of negative plays. Your running back goes for 90-plus yards, 3 touchdowns in a game. It's just it's a testament to Tom Cable, John Gruden, and that entire staff, Greg Olson, Derek Carr, in managing and orchestrating and conducting that game, navigating through all the challenges and ups and downs in the football game. It's just a phenomenal job by the entire group. And then you get to Josh Jacobs. He has a phenomenal young fullback and Alec Ingold. And Josh Jacobs, it goes back to me when I was evaluating him coming into the draft. He just had, JT, I'll tell you this. There's 2 things you look at, skill set and mindset. A lot of people have the skill set. Josh Jacobs has the mindset to come in and lead a team, be that bell cow, be that straight dog in the backfield, and that's a special thing for the entire Raider Nation.
Marcel, let's get to your career on Monday Night Football. You had big games, and you always played for the lights, the big lights and the fans. Walk me through some great memories on Monday Night Football.
Man, just being with the guys, the energy that goes into Monday Night Football, with or without fans. I never played without fans, but I can tell you right now, there's still going to be a great amount of energy. This is a big test for this 2020 Raider football team, because you're going against an established New Orleans Saints team, a walking legend at the quarterback position, and some great receivers and playmakers. The ex-Raider coach here in Dennis Allen, who's known as a defensive scientist. And it's a great test for this young football team. They found a way to galvanize themselves as the ups and downs of the Carolina game went. You have a ton of lead changes. I believe it was 6, JT. But when you have those lead changes and your team stays together and that young team makes enough plays down the stretch to get the win, that's special. But now you're going against a more established team, not a new coach, not a new quarterback, established playmakers. Now I'm extremely interested to see how this team comes together and works themselves through and be resilient against this team on Monday Night Football. This is prime time. This is special. It's going to be a great test, and I'm looking forward to it.
Let's talk about the Hall of Fame. Tom Flores got the call. He's a finalist, but everybody's talking about your former teammate, Charles Woodson, who looks to be a lock from all our perspectives. Tell me about what it was like playing alongside Charles Woodson.
It was special. Charles and I still talk all the time, great friends. And it was interesting when everyone was watching the Michael Jordan documentary, this past spring and summer. Seawood gave me a call after episode 2, and he said when he was watching it, only thing he could keep thinking about were the conversations that he and I used to have on buses, at dinner in Napa, in the locker room, during stretch lines, and he was just like, it brought him right back to it because of the excellence that we demanded from ourselves as individuals and the excellence that we demanded from our teammates. And that was special for me to hear him say those things, because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about it. And his picture is going to be enshrined in the Raider building forever, in Canton forever. And he did everything. Absolutely everything, and he would not stop until he reached excellence. And that was a special time for me to be with a guy like that, because when you have guys that see the same vision and you're on common ground, there's just no substitution for that. That chemistry, that camaraderie is just amazing. So that was always been a special time in my career, and it always will be. Charles and I are friends forever, but those times that we were able to play with each other, not just against each other, but play with each other on the same team, be in the same locker room, and have those conversations. Those are the things you miss about being on the football team.
Well, I've covered your entire career, and now I get to call you boss. How excited am I for that? Congratulations on this announcement again and for joining us on Talk of the Nation.
Thanks a lot, JT. I really appreciate you. You've always done a phenomenal job. I know that as a player. I know that as a colleague now. And it's just going to be a phenomenal time. I can't wait to do more with you, work together, and enjoy this ride together. It's going to be a journey. There's a lot of work ahead of us, but it's going to be exciting for not only the two of us, but the entire Raider Nation.
Thank you, Marcel Reece. What an announcement this week. Stay with us as we continue with more Talk of the Nation. This segment has been brought to you by Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill.
Anytime you make a move, you want to make a good showing in your new home. I was part of a big move when we moved to Los Angeles, and our first game there we won, although we were still in Oakland physically. Now they're physically in Las Vegas with a magnificent new stadium, which I can barely wait to see, hardly wait to see, because that's exciting. So it's important that you play well, you do well. It's one game, but still it's a big game, and there's a lot of excitement around it. Unfortunately, no one's going to be there to root and yell and scream except me, I guess.
Welcome back to Talk of the Nation and Raider Nation. It's finally here, Monday Night Football. and the Silver and Black will debut at Allegiant Stadium. I can tell you as a longtime resident of Las Vegas how important this moment is, not only for this city at this time, but especially the global Raider Nation, because now the Raider Nation has a home, and that home is in Las Vegas, and everyone is welcome to come here and have a great time. That's what Vegas is all about. And I want to thank Mark Davis. I've been on this journey with Mark for over 20 years. And to watch him behind the scenes when that vote first started and he had to reposition the team and an eventual move to Las Vegas, he absolutely nailed it. And the fans understand that the Raiders with this stadium now have an opportunity in the future to recruit more players. The facility is unbelievable. And just the opportunity for the Raider Nation to know on their calendar that they're coming to Vegas in years to come to see this football team, this roster, John Gruden, the new young players. It's outstanding. And this is really special for John Gruden because John Gruden had to move a football team. He had to move his family. And he had to do it all at once and get this football team ready. And he had them ready in Carolina so the Raiders could go 1-0. And now a great opportunity at home to go 2-0 against a great team in New Orleans. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, you know this roster and how good they are. So we're excited. Monday Night Football for the Silver and Black. I want to thank Lincoln Kennedy, Marcel Reece, Tom Flores, Omar Ruiz. This is a family. And the Raider Nation, you're a big part of all of this. NFL football is finally here in Las Vegas. It's the Raider Nation. Let's get ready for Monday Night Football. Raider Nation, unite. Talk of the Nation is presented by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Cox Business, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Twitch, the official live streaming platform of the Las Vegas Raiders.